We're talking Alzheimer's, cardiovascular disease, hormonal imbalances, erectile dysfunction, um, strokes, high blood pressure, insulin resistance. So you want to be eating different ways on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, and on a seasonal basis. I have a question for you. Please answer in the comments below if you're watching this live. If you're watching on my YouTube channel, comment below. Facebook, my tribe group, our community group, our business page, CJ Benkert personal page. This is Dr. CJ Benkert with Pura Vida Wellness. This is my question. Brownie points to whoever gets the right answer. This is my question. What's worse? Eating more food? That's your first choice. What's worse? Eating more food or eating more often? What's worse? Eating more food or eating more often? Let's not even talk about the quality of the food right now. That's a whole different discussion. What's worse? Eating more food or eating more often? Guess what, guys? We've been lied to. There's so much misinformation out in our world today. That's why I love doing what I do. That's why I love teaching. God has given me a purpose of spreading the truth, spreading love, light, joy. We can have an amazing life. It's within your control. And so much of having an amazing life has to do with your health. Yes, we are eternal spiritual beings in a temporary physical body, but it's really hard, in my opinion, based on my life experience, to be happy, to experience joy, to treat others with kindness and patience when you're not healthy physiologically, when your body is out of balance, your hormones are out of balance, your metabolism is slow, you're old metabolically, you're filled with a bunch of toxins. So that's my fourth core concept out of my 12 core concepts, which I believe lead you to living your purest, healthiest, most amazing, bright, joyous life, are these 12 core concepts. And I've made a decision and a commitment to bring you these 12 core concepts, to intertwine them into my 12-month coaching program for my clients who work with us intimately on a daily, weekly basis. And I want to share summaries of my 12 core concepts for the world, because there's so many of you out there that don't work with us, that are stuck at your weight. You're not sleeping well. You don't feel like you did when you were in your 20s and 30s. What happened? What happened to that energy? What happened to you being able to eat whatever you wanted and still feel good, and being able to stay up till 1, 2 in the morning, partying and having fun with friends, and being able to get up the next day and go surfing or go shopping? What happened to that energy? What happened to that vitality? That's what I'm here sharing, is how to get that vitality back, how to get that energy back. So what's worse, eating more often or eating more food? 100%. What is worse, believe it or not, is eating more often. It really doesn't have to do with the amount of food you eat. It does to a degree. The quality of your food is actually what's most important, not how much, but the quality of your food. But what causes more sickness, more insulin resistance, more chronic degenerative diseases, inflammation, aging, early death, unnecessary suffering? This time in our world, we are in more trouble. Our health is at such declining rates than ever before than in the history of this planet. We are fatter, we are sicker, we are polluting our planet because of the choices we're making, what we're putting into our food. So what's worse? What's worse is eating more often. Every time you eat, and it's not true, can prove to you scientifically, breakfast is not the most important meal of the day. We fasted for thousands and thousands of years. You are alive and hearing my voice today or seeing my image today because your ancestors survived. And you know how they survived? By going in and out of feast and famine, sugar burning versus fat burning. So we eat way too often. We've got fast food on every corner. Every time you eat, it's aging the body, even if it's healthy food. So what really is important, and that's why my fourth core concept is diet variation. So we started off with food, pure food. That's the first core concept. And then we went into pure water, the second core concept. Third core concept last week was sugar burning versus fat burning. So I'm spending an entire week teaching you and introducing you to these 12 core concepts. And this week we've been talking about diet variation. And today's discussion, which is the last discussion of this fourth core concept, is weekly, monthly, and seasonal variation. So diet variation. Tomorrow, I'm going to start off with our fasting core concept. I'm starting tomorrow to introduce fasting, and we have an amazing fasting variation week planned for everybody here, which will start October 4th and go the whole week all the way through October 9th. So we're going to be introducing and teaching intermittent fasting, 24-hour fasts, 36-hour fasts, 48-hour fasts, and 5-day water fasts and beyond. And that starts tomorrow. Next core concept is body, movement, muscle. And then we go into grounding, earthing, and then we have pure spirit, pure heart, pure mind. And then the 11th is being proactive and testing, so prevention. And then the last core concept is detoxification, true cellular detoxification. So it's harder on your body to eat more often. It's actually healthy to eat more food, but during a 6 to 8 hour eating window. So what I'm coming to you today and encouraging you to do is it's all about feast and famine, living like our ancestors live. Whatever your ancestral background is, let's say like me, I'm mostly German. So I should be eating most of the foods that my grandparents ate. Sauerkraut and healthy meats and root vegetables. That's what my DNA loves. What's your ancestral background? Maybe you're from Peru, so maybe that would be more like fruits and high healthy fats in the winter. So it's all about what our ancestors did and getting off of this path of declining health, industrialized food, processed packaged food, and you can make tremendous, quick, amazing changes in your health by just incorporating some of these concepts that I'm discussing. When I start people through my Pura Vida Transformation System, which is a 12-month coaching program, the diabetics that come into my program, most diabetics that are on several medications, type 2 diabetics, are completely off all medications within a week. And that's why I love to say, if you give the body the good stuff and take away the bad stuff, miracles occur. So we're talking about feast, famine, alternating and being so amazingly healthy and metabolically flexible, your cells being so metabolically flexible that you can easily go back and forth between the main forms of fuel that your body can only use. Two forms of fuel. It's only two things your body can use for fuel: sugar or fat. So most Americans and most people across the world now, because the world has now adopted the Western diet, the Western way of living, most people across the world are sugar burners, insulin resistant, which we now know is the cornerstone, the foundation of almost all illnesses, not just diabetes, folks. We're talking Alzheimer's, cardiovascular disease, hormonal imbalances, erectile dysfunction, um, strokes, high blood pressure, insulin resistance. So you want to be eating different ways on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, and on a seasonal basis. So as I go through all these concepts, especially as we start our fasting variation training next week, I'm going to teach you those different ways of varying your diet weekly, monthly, and seasonally. So I did a training on the 5-1-1 week variation cycle. Please go back and watch that video. That is the best way to start. It's a perfect way to start. Let's start varying how you eat on a weekly basis. But then we also need to take a look at monthly variations and seasonal variations. And most of that I will be covering as I start tomorrow and we go into next week, all week long, covering fasting variations, different types of fasts, why you would use different types of fasts, how you could use those different types of fasts to vary your month, to vary your seasons, etc. So that's the training for today. Please leave in the comments below what you got out of this. Are you going to try the 5-1-1 weekly variation? Please let me know. I'm here to support you. I'm here to encourage you. If you have any questions, please leave a comment or private message me on Facebook. I'm here to support you any way that I can. I want to get this message out. We're in a world of hurt. You have control of your health by making very simple, small little changes. So each week I've challenged you on what changes to make. This week, my challenge to you is to watch my video on the 5-1-1 variation. And I challenge you to start eating like that on a weekly basis until you get more information and more training and gain more knowledge as we continue on this amazing journey together, going over the 12 core concepts to living your purest, healthiest, most amazing, most pura vida, pure life. Costa Rican saying, it just means life is good. Life is amazing. Life doesn't have to be hard. If you're doing the right things and you're keeping your vibration high and you're focusing on love instead of fear, then life is good. You will attract in more of that you're thinking about, and you will attract in more light, more love, more goodness. I promise you. And that's what I'm on a mission of doing, is to teach you how to have that most amazing pure life in body, mind, heart, and spirit. This is Dr. CJ Benkert, loving you, motivating you, encouraging you, and teaching you how to live your purest life in body, mind, heart, and spirit.